Hello, guys, and welcome. Just a little bit of breaking news, actually, that I've literally just seen about 5 minutes ago while I was making the previous video, and that is that Southampton have rejected a £40 million bid from Liverpool for Romeo Lavia. Now, there's obviously been rumours with Lavia leaving Southampton all summer, and especially after Southampton's relegation, he obviously feels like he should be playing Premier League football. I agree. I think he's too good to be in the Championship, even though he is very young. Um, and Liverpool are obviously looking for replacements for Jordan Henderson and Fabinho, who, though Henderson has left Liverpool, Fabinho is very close to leaving Liverpool, so they are going to need a sort of defensive midfielder. And Klopp's looking for young talents. He's brought in Alexis McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai, and now it looks like he's going to go for Romeo Lavia. Now, the only offer, which was 40 million, looks like it has been rejected by Southampton. Southampton are asking for 60, 70 million, potentially even 80 million for Romeo Lavia, which I think is a lot of money for a 19-year-old. I do think that is a lot of money, especially when he's only had one season in the Premier League. Don't get me wrong, he was one of only very few bright sparks for what was a poor season for Southampton last season. But look, he wants to play Premier League football. He's been linked with quite a few clubs. Arsenal was one of those. Liverpool. There was even rumours of Chelsea at one point if they couldn't get Caicedo. But Chelsea are well focused on him. But yeah, Southampton have said straight away that, look, the money you're offering, 40 million, it's not going to buy him. At the end of the day, he is a huge prospect, which he is. I mean, he's going to have a great future if he keeps developing the way he has at Southampton over the last year. Obviously, ex-Manchester City youngster as well. So, that just says a lot. They're going to put a huge price tag on him. There's no question. I mean, he's got a very bright future. And Liverpool obviously are looking now into the market where they've got rid of people who are, Henderson and Milner were, Milner's obviously late 30s, Henderson's early 30s, 33 I believe Henderson is, Fabinho's 30, and he's looking to bring younger players in who are like maybe 8-9 years younger than the people who are leaving. And Romeo Lavia obviously fits that bill. He obviously fits the style that Jurgen Klopp has, which is the constant press, and Lavia, we saw that last season in the Premier League with Southampton. He will press, he will chase people down, he's not afraid to get stuck in, which obviously makes him ideal for obviously the Liverpool style of play that Jurgen Klopp plays at Liverpool, because you look at Liverpool since Klopp's been there, they're not afraid to get stuck in. They do press, they press as a team, and Lavia has obviously proven to Klopp that he's going to do that. We saw it last season. I do think he is a perfect fit for that Liverpool midfield. The only problem is going to be price, because Southampton are asking for such high numbers. Liverpool have never really been known to spend crazy money. I mean, you think of Darwin Núñez. I mean, I think that's the first time under Klopp they've actually really overpaid for a player, which they did with Darwin Núñez. But they didn't overpay for people like McAllister. They didn't overpay for people like Szoboszlai, who two players who are definitely going to think are worth their price tag. The problem Liverpool have got is obviously, are they going to risk overpaying for Romeo Lavia? And if it doesn't quite work out, one, they're going to lose money on that investment, and two, it goes about what Liverpool have been about under Klopp. And obviously, apart from that one signing, like I just mentioned, in Darwin Núñez, where they spent crazy money on Darwin Núñez, he weren't exactly successful last season. Obviously, I do still think there's time for him at Liverpool. And Liverpool obviously have always been this sort of team that they sort of stand firm. They say, look, we're not going to pay over this certain amount of money. It's just not going to happen. That's not what we do here at Liverpool. We like to make investments. but we're not going to invest ridiculous amounts of money on players that just simply we don't feel are worth that money. In the future, Romeo Lavia could easily be worth 60, 70 million. For me, I think 50 might be a fair price. That's just my opinion. Again, obviously people will have their own opinions. Southampton fans might think he's worth £78 million. Some people might think he's not even worth the 40 Liverpool are offering at a date. My opinion is, for me, I think a fair price for Romeo Lavia would be about 50 million, because and obviously a lot of people will say, yeah, but if you invest £50 million in a player and then 2 years down the line he's not really shown what £50 million bought us, then it's a big gamble. But I don't think Romeo Lavia is that sort of player. I definitely think the potential you see in Romeo Lavia is going to come out at some point. I definitely feel like he will hit his potential. Obviously, we've seen it before where certain players have gone to clubs with huge expectations and they've just faltered. I mean, one of the first ones that comes to my mind, obviously, I'm a Manchester United fan, I love Manchester United, but one of the first that comes to my mind is Jadon Sancho. He came for such a huge price, and yet in the 2 years he's been here, he's done pretty much nothing for the club. His form is all over. He can have like 2-3 good games and then 2-3 bad games, and then he's out of the squad again, and then he's not back in the squad then for another 3-4 weeks. But again, like I said, I don't think that will be the case with Romeo Lavia. I think what you see is what you get with him. I think he is very much in the mould of Moises Caicedo, and I think that's why Chelsea was also linked with Romeo Lavia, just because he does represent Caicedo in so many ways. But there's been a lot of teams interested in him. Obviously, like I said at the beginning of the transfer window, there was also Arsenal. With Xhaka leaving, and there were rumours Thomas Partey were going to be either going to Italy or Saudi Arabia as well, and they maybe wanted Romeo Lavia, but nothing came of that. Thomas Partey's, as far as that's concerned, not for sale. So Arsenal never really continued any interest they had in Romeo Lavia. Liverpool, it's only really come about over the past week, since obviously Fabinho looks like he's going to go to Al Ittihad. You've got John Henderson who's going to El Ettifaq. He needs a defensive midfielder because he hasn't really got anyone who can sit in that holding position behind people like Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai. And yeah, that's obviously brought them to Lavia, which obviously if you look at the way Liverpool have been doing their transfer dealings this window, they are looking for youngish players. Like, Szoboszlai, I think he's only 23. Alexis McAllister is only 24, so they've still got plenty of room to improve. And Romeo Lavia is only 19. So he's got like another 6, maybe 7 years before he even reaches the peak of his powers. And I think under someone like Jurgen Klopp, who in my opinion is, although Liverpool did have an underwhelming season last season, he's still one of the best managers in the Premier League in my opinion. Coming from a Manchester United fan, I'm not going to sit here and I'm going to, diss on Liverpool or anything like that. I do think Jurgen Klopp is one of the best managers in the Premier League. Would I say he's up there with Pep? I'd say he's close. For me, I think Pep Guardiola just blows every other manager in the Premier League out of the water, just for what he's done at Manchester City. But no, like I said, he's trying to mould a younger team. He's, got rid of people who are coming towards the end of contracts, coming towards the end of the best versions of themselves. Obviously, people like Fabinho, as we saw last season. Fabinho last season didn't look like anything like the player of a couple of years ago. Nowhere near. James Milner, again, obviously his age, he thought, will move him on. Oxlade-Chamberlain as well, also 30. He's another one who was allowed to leave. Naby Keita, 29, allowed to leave. Henderson, 33, allowed to leave. So he's looking for young talents, and it's sort of what Chelsea are doing, but in my opinion, just a little bit better, because Chelsea are just going out and spending money on players that no one's ever heard of, and then just sending them straight out on loan. And they brought people in like Koulibaly, didn't do well. And Liverpool are trying to almost not take a leaf out of their book, but they are looking for younger players in those positions. And obviously, like I said again, it's brought them straight to Lavia, who for me is going to be a world-class defensive midfielder. If he continues on the mode of like Moises Caicedo, I think he'll do just fine. We saw him last season, and like I said, in the Premier League for Southampton, he was probably one of the only very few bright sparks for Southampton last season. And it will be disappointing for Southampton fans to lose him after just a season. But I do feel like he is too good to be in the Championship. There's so many players that went down to the Championship last season. Just another Southampton player I can name is James Ward-Prowse. In my opinion, is too good to be in the Championship. So, yeah, obviously this is definitely one to keep an eye on. I do think Liverpool will be back with another bid, but I don't think they'll spend over the odds. I don't think they'll go nuts on a transfer fee. That's just not what Liverpool do. Anyway, guys, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. How much would you rate Lavia? How much would you say you think he's worth? Let me know in the comments. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and please subscribe for more videos like this. Anyway, guys, I'll see you soon.